I've been thinking
Yes?
about how each video starts with a no loading screen.
That's going to change soon enough.
Okay, it's just something I've noticed.
Alrighty then.
Got everything, huh? Who knew you could actually do
But all
this?
ingredients have been
Just
collected.
look, dude. But what are we gonna do with all this?
Even though one of them was
Yeah.
literally a machine part.
I mean, we can't judge what they eat. You see what people eat here on Earth?
Well, yeah, that whole deep fried butter thing will never leave my mind.
How did you know I was about to mention the fried butter? That's just my go-to of, that's disgusting. It's just, hey, fried butter, yep, this is the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, out of all of the things that we I know we go to different corners of the internet, but they have to intersect sometimes.
That's true.
What a waste of food!
And what a way for it to intersect.
I was like, how many people are going to try this? I want to see, but at the same time I feel like throwing up.
Yeah, yeah.
I think there was somebody who was doing fried ice cream next, and I was like, how do you... I'm not even going to bother looking.
Actually, that sounds interesting. But also, it's probably some... It's like... Technically it's fried ice cream, but not really. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
On
but
that note,
I don't want them to ruin ice cream for me. Butter is already something where just like, it's already just like a little bit weird with the oil and stuff. Just I can deal with that sometimes coming into my brain. But don't ruin ice cream.
oh, this gets really high.
Yep, and the jump gets pretty particular there.
Yeah, you don't even know where you're jumping to.
Well, you have to see it one time.
Yeah, so
And then
funny.
calculate
Well,
afterwards.
it's funny that we're just... Oh yeah, I guess it makes not funny. It makes sense. It's in... Not in canon, it's in context to be talking about food. Oh wow, you got it.
Yep.
Because I was thinking about something I've recently eaten, which is very love it or hate it, and that's the mixture of chocolate and mint.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, there's these chocolate mint cookies that I am eating and I'm thinking, this is fine. And then my sister tried them and I was like, this is horrible, and struggled to finish that one cookie, but I thought it was fine.
Oh,
I
important
remember
detail,
memeing
important
about...
detail.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm also trying to...
Yeah,
So what's going on here?
just like they're complaining that they're dying way too easy, and so Etna proposes a solution, which is to transform the Prinny into Pringer X. Pringer X is a legendary robot built in the shape of a Prinny for irony's sake, made by the Netherworld's top scientists. It is incredibly destructive and powerful, but apparently Edna says that she can make one.
But if if the Prinny's a robot, it wouldn't be an actual Prinny. So, is she gonna transform a Prinny into a robot Prinny?
You'll see you'll see the results of that a little bit later. But for
so I guess this game is just referencing a lot of things that are gonna come later then.
yeah, and sometimes not in the way you think. I still find it kind of funny how she does it, especially in context for how certain other games treat Pringer X.
Interesting. So Prinny X is not actually... it's just a robot.
Yes, Springer X is just a huge destructive robot. No, not huge, but like really powerful destructive robot. It's the same size as a Prinny and it's in the shape of a Prinny.
Okay. I was gonna say something very quickly. Alright. I remember memeing about chocolate mint ice cream in 6th grade. And ever since then, But that was more mint than chocolate. Which maybe that's the key. Maybe you shouldn't have too much mint. But then again, I like the mints that have chocolate on the inside. So I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either, considering I usually don't have mint stuff, and I usually hate chocolate stuff unless it's very particular.
Oh my god, why am I even talking to you?
I said unless it's very particular, man. It just look. Do you realize how many people have tried to get me to eat mangoes because it's a Jamaican thing? It's like every Jamaican eats mangoes. It's like just try another one. Like no, listen, you do not understand. It is the most hated thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. Don't
Terrible
even joke
taste.
about it. Yeah, but
Maybe the gear needs to power that machine.
yes, behold the ultimate. I could make so many references here, but surprisingly, in the surprisingly in this description, they make a reference you don't expect them to make. So I'm going to be very happy when we get to the description part.
I mean, cool, but sadly I won't be able to get it, so...
No, you will. Trust me, you will.
Oh, it's not a reference to the game, it's a reference to real life?
Yeah, there are a lot, dude. There are a lot of references in the description. I told you that they actually reference like Metal Slug from the thing that looked like a Metal Slug.
Oh, yeah, but that seemed like that
Okay,
was
that's a little bit
definitely...
more obvious, but the point is that they love meta and reference jokes. This series
Okay.
absolutely thrives
I
on
am a
it.
little silly right now, because I was gonna think, why is the keyhole so gigantic? It's like, oh, okay.
Yep. Unfortunately, you have to be at the apex of your jump to get the arc to hit the top of the keyhole. So, you know, luckily that giant key summons bombs from the sky. That's a weird Keyblade ability. But I know a way to cheese this fight. The keyhole technically counts as its own hitbox. So even though you're technically hit pounding nothing, it counts.
Oh, so you can stun it that way?
Yep. Granted, if you don't do it quickly enough, he will. Oh, and that was a slip of my finger because I'm still getting used to the controller a bit.
Interesting. So they didn't patch out the cheese.
No, I'm pretty sure this is like a cheese.
Just a straight port?
Yeah. No, here's the thing. I don't think that this was a mistake, but more like a secret.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was gonna say that Terraria has patched out so much cheese in the final update, but at the same time, there are a couple like inconsistencies in how the game works that they left it on purpose, which I will tell you after this cutscene, since this cutscene is probably important.
Yep. So we finally got the Ultra Dessert.
Sweets are in danger. I shall be
Oh, someone's about to steal it?
Yeah, pretty much. If you
No, I thought it had been like a ninja or something.
no, it's Sir Sweet. He's been referenced occasionally by either the Prinnies or some of the other characters. Morgan, for example, said that a client of his talked about the ultra dessert. That his client is Sir Sweet. The Moab pigs work for Sir Sweet, so there's implications for them working for making sweets for him when we took the taiyaki from them. And I think those are the only references. No, wait, no. The gourmet ogre specifically said, "You work for Sir Sweet, don't you?" And the prince's like, "Who the heck is that?"
Yeah, I do remember that. He just walks away.
Yeah. The Prinny is
gonna...
so dumbfounded by how ridiculous this is that he doesn't remember to stop him.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, we haven't had a desert stage, have we?
Nope. And this is a very specific kind of desert, so it's nice to see variation, even though the second game does have a normal desert stage.
Desert and pirates. To be fair, Donkey Kong Country Returns did that.
Okay. I don't quite remember that, but then again, I've only seen sure a lot of that game, but like not of the game, but
Oh wait. Yeah, they did, but that was only one stage. It wasn't desert, it was more cliffside, like rocky cliffs, but basically. But they mainly the pirates were in the water island stage, so yeah.
Evil dude. Are you trying to make me want to give up, dude?
You know, it's so weird just seeing Soul still here after this point, but we're going to get the dimensional carrier Soul in this stage.
Is she playing a PlayStation? No. Yes. On a
you'd
PlayStation
be
3?
surprised. Hold on. There's a you'll get your answer a little bit later.
Kill you. I really hope she's talking to the game and not me, dude.
There is a very hilarious line about that comes at one point in the story.
Okay. So I guess we'll see that then.
Man, I love this game.
But right. Terraria, there's a water duplication glitch where if you use a water bucket, or anything really, if one drop of water goes over a one block tile, it splits into 2 blocks of water and goes down both sides. And this has been kept in every single update of the game, just because they know it's a that's just ridiculous. Because they know it's a mechanic people use online. There's also I don't know if it's I mean it basically has its own wiki page, but I guess it's a glitch where if you hammer blocks or platforms a certain way, you can travel really fast and sometimes travel through blocks, and they've just kept that in as well. But a lot of cheese, and that's the thing, actual like glitches they've kept in, but cheese, they're like no, they destroyed so much cheese.
Huh. That's an interesting. I mean, you'd think it'd be the other way around.
Yeah. People do complain, like the newest update 1.4, they say it feels like they're trying to oh, I was supposed to. Why are you just supposed to jump down and die?
No, I know from experience that there's a lucky doll down here, but it turns out to be the exact spot that I checked, so I got hurt.
Huh. But yeah, people say that they're streamlining the progression too much. It's supposed to be a game where you can do anything you want, and things are being too telegraphed in terms of, especially the early game progression, which I somewhat get. And they did go back on some of the changes in the new update, like the actual the second to last update. But I don't mind because
there's
some
the
of
orb.
the cheese is like. Repeat that?
I said, "There's the orb." Remember the orb for the dimensional traveler in our town? I said we'd get it in this stage.
Oh.
And that's where they hide it.
Okay. So they hide it in the. So there's a lot of stuff at just the very beginning of this final stage. Is this the final stage?
No, no, it isn't. Remember, you know how like story progression are. We always come down to the wire, so there'll be 1 hour left when we're done.
Oh right, I'm thinking that what was I thinking in terms of that? It's just a constantly escalating story where your end goal is the same, but the way you get there is always changing.
Well, technically, there are 2 differences with that. Well, not differences. The end goal, at least, it starts out, get the ingredients for the dessert, then there's like a slight thing where just like, okay, find out how to make the dessert, which is the chef bot boss battle, and then it's get the dessert back. And getting the dessert back means going into dangerous territory and fighting a guy who's like really powerful in the end.
Yeah, I've seen all the Legend of Zelda moblins that I saw earlier in the game, because I guess we're going to Sir Sweet.
Yep, this place is filled with the Moab army. You'll see just like how much.
This is lit pirate themed than I thought it would be. less explicitly pirate themed.
Well, the desert pirates aren't. Sure, this is their territory, but like this doesn't mean that we'll be fighting pirate enemies or whatever. The pirate. They implied that the whole pirate thing, is in the definition sense of how this works. Because yes, they do steal a whole bunch of stuff that are desserts, and okay, that guy just fell and decided I'm gonna still do my job even though my legs are crushed.
Good for him. I'm thinking that background is... There's a lot of personality in the background. You can't help but think what's going on back there.
We'll be going there,
Which I
so...
like. Oh, you actually will? Oh.
Yep. This game is awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. There's lots of times you see a background in a game and you think, that's awesome, what's going on over there? And it's cool that this game gets to actually show you that. It's the same, I know it does happen a few other times, like when you go to the moon in Yoshi's Island, because you do notice that moon and you end up going to it, that's cool. And basically modern Donkey Kong Country is just that. Going to the cool background thing, you see. So good for them, but that's the thing. Well, I guess I wouldn't explicitly call it background interaction because it's more just going there eventually. But it helps make a 2D platformer feel less 2D.
Mm-hmm. Of course, I know this is the end, so I'm just trying to gun it.
Which I think might be because people are talking about what's the evolution, what's the next step for 2D Mario, and that's probably, well, they might not want to do that because they probably want to keep that to Donkey Kong Country. So yeah, I actually don't know what 2D Mario's next move is.
Maybe they'll make a slightly hard game this time, like consistently, and make you have to deal with, like, they'll incorporate the moves from the Donkey Kong Game Boy games with the handstand and such that will require more specific kind of platforming. I'd like
for
that.
2D Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, just add a handstand.
But behold, the
I think
Star Wars reference bundled up in, like, everything.
I should know, even though I've never seen Star Wars, I should know Star Wars references, but I don't.
I mean, come on, every part of his dialogue, the sauce is weak with this one, come on.
Okay, I saw that one. Darth Maul, okay, I get it.
But if he could be churned, he could make a powerful stir fry.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh.
I get it.
You see?
Okay.
It's not that hard. They don't even try. And
it
even
goes so. At
even
first,
the Prinny
I was thinking
said so later.
this isn't funny, but it goes so long that it becomes funny.
The problem with Darth Maul is that his weight is deceptive, because that scythe is apparently really heavy. So the direction in which you start slashing, you have to slash from way behind him for him to stay that direction. Because in case you haven't noticed, the direction in which the characters travel when you slash them depends on your distance from their center of gravity.
Right.
And his is a bit deceptive. That's why when the gourmet ogre drops down, you usually have to go from his back a little bit more because that's where most of his weight is.
Oh, he's actually calling it a parody. He calls it out.
Yep.
Which I've always thought, is it? I don't care if it's hokey. I love when people do stuff that's lame and then call it out. It does make it better for me. People are like, it doesn't make it better. Yeah, it does. Sometimes it doesn't. When Family Guy does it, it doesn't. It's just off the top of my head.
Yeah, especially since they draw
Except
it out
when they make
even
jokes
more.
about. Yeah, when they make jokes about not having an Emmy though, that's funny. People always complain they're so desperate. Nope, I like that.
How is
That's
that
one
desperate?
joke I like.
This thing has been
they're
going
like-
on for like ever.
They keep they keep making fun of Bob's Burgers and The Simpsons for having Emmys. And I making jokes about how they don't have any, and I like it. People keep saying you don't deserve to make fun of Bob's Burgers, but nope, I love it when Family Guy makes fun of Bob's Burgers. That's one thing I will say.
I don't think
All
there's a
the
point. I
times.
mean, I get where that argument usually comes from, but I think in that context it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think people are just kind of being a little silly and defensive in that sense.
Temp agencies are really popular these days, dude. Cheap, expendable labor. The biggest one around here is the Morgan Association.
Who needs an agency, dude? Sir Sweet's gonna hire me personally.
Are you serious, dude? I'd rather take my chances with Master Etna.
I think you're just terrified of telling her you quit, dude. Master Etna?
What's up, dumbass?
Question, dude. Let's say I wanted to look for a new job.
I've got an opening for someone who excels at getting shot. Interested?
No thanks, dude.